do the second question, sir.
Yeah, we'll start it off quickly.
Yes, sir. In the Flower Fans Private Limited, there are only 5 members. All of them went on a pleasure trip in a boat into an open sea. The boat overturned and all of them were drowned. Explain with reference to the provisions of Companies Act 2013. Is Flower Fans Private Limited no longer in existence? B. Further, is it correct to say that a company being an artificial person cannot own property and cannot sue or be sued?
Okay, there are two questions. One is that there were some 5 members of a private limited company. Why is it private? Because unless it is 7 members, it cannot be a public limited company. And all of them went into the sea and they overturned. So they all died. Is the company coming to an end? No. Remember, I did the characteristics of a company, perpetual succession. A company is created by law and it can come to end only by law. So the birth is by law, the end is by law. So here, even though all the 5 members of the company are dead, the legal heirs of the 5 members will now become the members of the company, but the company will not get liquidated. It can be liquidated only by legal formalities which have to be performed. Second part they've asked is it true that a company cannot be sued? It can be sued. It has a separate legal entity. It can own its own property and well as it can be sued and be sued. Remember, I did that case, own property, separate property, Mekora versus Northern something was there, no? Mekora versus Northern Assurance Company Limited. Remember where all the shares of the company were owned by him except one, and then he took the insurance in the name of his name, but actually instead of taking it in the name of the company, and once the stock was destroyed by fire, the insurance company refused to give him the insurance, stating that he is separate, the company is separate. So the company has its own what? Legal entity, and it can own property of its own. What it can own property of its own. So that's the second part. So first part is perpetual succession. Second part is separate legal entity. Just see if the
Yes, sir. That's what even they have given.
yeah. So you all don't want to read it, right? We'll go to the next one.
Yes, sir. We'll go to the next one.
We'll go to the next one.
Okay, next is an employee, Mr. Karan, signed a contract with his employer company, ABC Limited, that he will not solicit the customers after leaving the employment from the company. But after Mr. Karan left ABC Limited, he started up his own company, PQR Limited, and started soliciting the customers of ABC Limited for his own business purposes. ABC Limited filed a case against Mr. Karan for breach of employment contract and for soliciting the customers for for own business. Mr. Karan contended that there is a corporate veil between him and his company and he should not be personally held liable for this. In this context, the ABC Limited seeks your advice as to the meaning of corporate veil and when the veil can be lifted to make the owners liable for the acts done by a company.
Seeks your advice on meaning of corporate veil. So listen to the question correctly. They see the question. They asked you meaning of corporate veil and what are the circumstances and when which you can lift the corporate veil. So see, this case is similar to a case which I did with you. Remember, Gilbert Motor Company versus Horn. Same case, right? They've just changed the names. Remember, I did that company, Gilbert, what is it? Gilbert Motor Company, right? Where Mr. Horn, where he was the managing director and he had signed a contract that he will not do separate business. Then after leaving, he started the business in the name of his wife and his friend. And do you all remember? Yes or no? And the court held that he and the business are one and the same. Okay. Now there are 5 circumstances. What is corporate veil? There is a distinct identity between the company and its shareholders. The company is separate, the shareholders are separate. But in certain cases, the veil which divides the company and its shareholders will be pierced. That is called piercing the corporate veil. That means you will disregard the separate legal entity of a company and treat the individuals and the company as one and the same. There are 5 circumstances under which
the corporate veil is.
Remember I told you E, the capital letter E, then I told you drink T, TEA, and then F. I remembered it like that. E is for enemy character of the company. If the character of the company is enemy character, we have done one case that Damiel, what is that? not Daimler Company Limited, right?
Sir.
Yeah, that case. Then the second T stands for tax evasion. When there is, I remember T for tax, basically it means that whenever the company is trying to evade tax or rob the revenue of the government. E is for employees, any legal obligation of the employees, associated rubber company versus that rubber company. A is when the company acts as an agent of another company. We did FG Films Limited case. And F is fraudulent acts or acts which are meant to defraud. So I told you, remember a capital E, capital F, and in the middle you have to remember a cup of tea. So TEA. So ETEAF. Only thing over here is instead of legal obligation, I told employees because that was easy for me to remember because legal obligation of employees only. So these are the 5 characteristics. This case relates to the 5th one, where there is a fraud being committed by one of the members and he's trying to defraud another company by creating a separate company. What? By creating a separate company. So the corporate veil will be pierced and he and the company will be regarded one as the same, and he cannot set up same company competing with his earlier owners. You can read the answer if you want. Quickly, just read the main points. Dhriti?
Yes, sir. Corporate Corporate veil refers to a legal concept whereby the company is identified separately from the members of the company. The term corporate veil refers to the concept that members of a company are shielded from the liability connected to the company's actions. Thus, if the company incurs any debts or contravenes any laws, the corporate veil concept implies that the members should not be liable for those errors. In other words, they enjoy corporate insulation.
Okay,
However,
that's
under
okay. Okay.
certain
There are for certain companies. Read the points. First one.
Yes, so the first one is to determine character of the company, that is find out whether co-enemy or friend.
So I told you enemy E, then
To protect revenue or tax. That's all
tax
they've done.
T. That's what I told you. Third one was
To avoid the legal obligation.
in brackets. You can put employees to avoid the legal obligation of the employees. That's why I put E over there. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Formation of subsidiaries to act as agents.
Agents A.
And a company formed for fraud or improper conduct or to defeat law.
This was fraud. So this was basically as a fraud. So under the former case, it is similar to the case of Gilbert Company versus Gilbert Motor Company versus Horn. The company was basically formed to defraud the company. Therefore, it is. Yeah.
They can
Understood?
pierce the corporate bill.
Yeah.
Based on the above provisions and leading case law of Guilford Motor Co. and Horn versus
Guilford. I
Horn.
thought it was Gilbert. Okay, Guilford Motor Co. versus
Horn.
Horn.
The company PQR Limited was created to avoid the legal obligations arising out of the contract. Therefore, that employee Mr. Karan, and company PQR Limited created by him should be treated as one, and thus veil between the company and that person shall be lifted. Karan has formed the company only for fraud or improper conduct or to defeat the law. Hence, he shall be personally held liable for the acts of the company.
Fantastic, Gracie. Good. How nicely you're reading. You know who's reading for this current batch? Very
Who, sir?
smart. One very smart, sexy fellow. Pranav Pai. You know Pranav Pai? He was in the
Yes,
last
sir.
batch. Hi, Pranav, you're there? He's not there. You know him, huh? He was there in the last batch.
Yes, sir, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Let's read the next one.
Yes, sir. Pacific Motors Limited is a government company. Rama Auto Private Limited is a private company having share capital of 10 crores in the form of 10 lakh shares of 100 rupees each. Pacific Motor Limited is holding 5 lakh 5,000 shares in Rama Auto Private Limited. Rama Auto Private Limited claimed the status of government company. Advise as legal advisor whether Rama Auto Private Limited is a government company under the provisions of
Wait. I want to know the specific motor company is a government company, right? How many shares is it holding? Just see the number of shares. You're going a little slow.
Okay, sir. 5 lakh 5,000 shares in Rama Auto Private Limited.
Okay. Now, who can tell me without seeing the answer whether this is a government company or not? Let me tell you the answer. See, now, first of all, whenever you get these questions, first define a government company. A government company is a company in which 51% of the share capital is held either by the central government or state government or both the central government and the state government. Correct or no? Also, the subsidiary of a government company is treated as a government company. Then you can give the definition of subsidiary company. A subsidiary company is in which half the voting power is held by the holding company. Now, in this case, see, they've told that a Pacific Motor Company is a government company. Now, it's holding 50,500 shares, more than 50.5% of the shares of Rama Limited. It's more than 50%, right? So, more than half it. That means this Rama company is a subsidiary of Pacific Motors Company. The subsidiary of a government company is also treated as a.
Government company.
So don't worry about this 51% over here. If they would have said Pacific Motor Company 20% is held by the state government, 30% is held by the central government, is it a government company? No, because 20 plus 30 is 50%. There it should be 51%. But here, when it's a holding company and subsidiary company, more than half, automatically it becomes a. Understood the difference? Yes or no? All of you all?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
I have done this type of question before. So here, automatically that the company, whichever that company is, Rama Company Limited will be a government company. So give the definition of government company, give the definition of subsidiary and holding company, and then explain, since this is a subsidiary company of a government company, the subsidiary company of a government company will also be considered as a government
Company.
Company.
company. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you want me to read the answer?
I don't think so. Do you want to read?
Sir, no, sir. If we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. Let's move on.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Next is they have given negotiable instruments act.
Over. This
Sir, this MTP is over, sir.
not MTP, RTP.
So RTP, yeah, sorry.
Now you go to MTP 1, September 2025. Did you have that?
Yes,
Nagashri?
sir. I will open it. I too will open it.
You have it with you?
Sir, MTP they have. Okay, sir.
MTP, in RTP, they give the questions, and after the question, they give the answers. In MTP, they give the question paper separately, answer separately. You know that, no?
Yes, sir.
You can merge the documents if you want,
First,
but it's
they have
huh?
nothing, sir.
The same. The MTP basically is a mock test paper. So here it's not in order. Some first question maybe Companies Act, second question. Here, there it was in order, no? Contract Act, all questions, then uh, Sale of Goods Act, all questions, Companies Act, all questions. Here it will all be mixed up. What will all be mixed up? I've
Mixed up.
already told you the format. 20 marks first paper question compulsory. The remaining 5 questions you have to answer any 4. Each is 20 marks. So total it's 100 marks. So 1A is divided 1A BC, 2A BC, 3A BC like that. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Out of that, one question out of all those questions will be of the first chapter, and one question will be of LLP, and 2 questions will be from negotiable instruments. The remaining paper is 4: partnership, company, sale of goods, and Indian contract. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Just a minute, sir. We are opening.
Nagashi, you didn't send her, huh? That September 20.
No, sir.
It is the first MTP. Only one MTP is come out, no?
Yes.
Can't open. No? You got it,
Yes,
Dhrish?
sir. Yes, sir. She has opened it. Nagashri has opened it.
Questions are separate, answers are separate. You'll have to tab, I think so.
Yes, sir.
You'll be able to do it, no, Dhrish?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
X was running. Just a
Where
minute,
was he
sir.
running?
Sir, the question is given, sir. We have
Oh,
to
I
see
got
where
so
he is running.
scared. It was running and all. No? Where God,
X
no, there
was
is
running a business of car on lease. One fine day, Y came to hire a car.
What is this question? Very funny. One fine day.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One fine day, they have.
One day, correct. Very nice. Very fine. One fine day.
One fine day, Y came to hire a car for 10 days for his business tour from Delhi to Amritsar. X offered him a Honda City for 50,000 for 10 days on a condition that petrol and toll expenses will be borne by him. During the journey, engine of car was choked. Y has to spend 10,000 for repair of engine. When he was coming back from Amritsar, brakes of car were not working and a major accident of Y
Oh, ho,
happened due
ho.
to this.
Hmm.
Y was admitted to hospital and paid a bill of rupees 50,000 on recovery. Y asked X to compensate him for charges for car repair and hospital expenses amounting to rupees 60,000. X denied for the compensation by saying that he was not aware about the engine and brakes fault. Y filed a suit against X for recovery of damages. Give your opinion with reference to provisions of Indian Contract Act 1872. First, the sub question is whether Y can withhold the amount of higher charges 50,000 on account of non-payment of damages, and whether Mr. X was liable to pay damage as he was not aware of the fact of the faults in the car.
Okay, now, first of all, whenever you get these questions, first give the definition of bailment. So you will say, first you give the definition, what is bailment? Bailment is defined as such and such. Now, there are two parts to this question. See, one is that something happened, no? He spent some repairs, 10,000, no? What was that?
Sir, he spent 50,000.
No, something got repaired or something. 10,000 he spent, no?
Yes, 10,000 for repair of
Read that line, that one
yes,
line.
sir. During the journey, engine of car was choked. Y has to spend rupees
Okay, that
10,000
they
for
made a
repair.
mistake over there. One bad day they should have written. They wrote one fine day for the first one, no? They should have written one sad day or one bad day during the journey, right? They forgot to write, no? Okay, now listen, let's not play the fool. Now, there are two parts to the question. Now, always answer the question as they have asked it. Okay, so now I've given you the definition of bailment. Now, the first part is remember when I told you when a bailer gives to the bailee something which is a non gratuitous bailment, all ordinary expenses will be borne by the bailee, but extraordinary expenses will be borne by the bailer. What extraordinary expenses will be borne by the bailer? So this brake choking or whatever repairs is an extraordinary expense. So it has to be borne by the bailer. That means that fellow has to pay 10,000. Now, second part of the question is something happened, the brakes failed. And the brake failed, so this fellow met with an accident and he had to spend 50,000 for the hospital. Now, remember, I told you when we were again discussing the duties of bailer and bailee, if it is a gratuitous bailment and if the bailer doesn't know of any defect in the goods, he will not be held liable for any accident. But if it's a non-gratuitous bailment, even if the bailer knows or doesn't know about any defect in the goods, if there is any expenses, the damages will have to be borne by the bailer. This is a non-gratuitous bailment. Pakka non-gratuitous bailment because he is lending out his car for fun. So irrespective whether the bailer knew about it or no, the second part of the question I'm answering first, he will have to bear the expenses of 50,000. Not only that, he'll also have to bear the expense of 10,000. So as a result of that, the first question is, the bailee has every right to withhold the payment for any expenses due from the bailer that we've done in the rights of a bailee. So he need not pay that 50,000, and in fact, he can demand an extra 10,000 from X. Second part is, even if X did not know, I forgot the name of that case, yeah. There was one case, no, when the carriage turned upside down. She. What was the name
Hit,
of that? Huh? Remember,
hit
Sachi?
comes.
The son, everything was there. What was the son? Name of this question? Case? Just will you again say, Sachi? Some case was then. Your voice is breaking. What is
Sir,
the
I
name?
forgot.
What is he saying there? You can hear.
Husband and wife.
Huh? That husband and wife. The name of the case was not husband and wife. All of you all are also. Okay, search it and keep. What was that case, Nageshri? That case, it's similar to that case, no? That carriage turned upside down and that they claimed compensate. He had given a carriage on hire. Remember?
Yes, sir. Sir, we forgotten the names, but we remember that case law, sir.
I forgot the names, but I
The
remember.
Hyman and wife versus Nye and Sons.
Remember, I told everything is there. Husband, wife, sons, everything is there. Hyman and wife versus. So remember that case. So you say this case is similar to that. You all understood this? Yes or no? So there are two parts to it. One is extraordinary expenses, and the second part is if they know about any default or not. You want to read the answer, or we'll move ahead?
Sir,
No.
we'll move ahead, sir.
Okay, we'll move ahead. You all understood, no? Hyman and Sons versus some Nice and Sons or whatever. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Next question is Evergreen Private Limited has 9 directors on its board of directors. The company's articles of association currently state that the quorum for board meeting shall be one-third of the total strength or 2 directors, whichever is higher. The company now intends to amend the article to specify that the quorum of board meeting shall be one-third of the total strength or 4 directors, whichever is higher. Advise the company on the procedure for including the entrenchment provision in its articles in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. Would your advice differ? Would your advice differ if the company were a public company?
Remember, I told you entrenchment provisions are provisions where you try and make the provisions of the article and association stronger, correct or no? So if you want special resolution instead of 75% to make 90% or quorum to change, it's called entrenchment. What it is called? Entrenchment.
Entrenchment.
So I told you for a private limited company, you have to have the consent of all the members and the entrenchment has to be sent to the registrar for approval. Once the registrar approves it, so they can change the quorum. If it's a public limited company, all the members need not approve, only they can pass a special resolution. What you can pass a special
Resolution.
resolution. That is 3/4 of the members should agree. And then again, it should be sent to the registrar of the companies and it is there. So just so to read out this answer because it's stepwise is given in your textbook also. Some 2 or 3
Yes,
steps, but this is a gist of whatever is there. Understand?
yes, sir.
Hmm.
Section 5, subsection 4 and subsection 4 and subsection 5 of the Companies Act 2013 contains the following provisions. Manner of inclusion of entrenchment provisions. The provisions for entrenchment shall only be made either on formation of a company or by an amendment in the articles agreed to by all the members of the
All
company
the members of the company. Hmm.
in case of a private company and by special resolution in case of a public
Public
company.
limited. I've already told you.
Notice to the registrar of the entrenchment provision, where the articles contain provisions for entrenchment, whether made on formation or by amendment. The company shall will give notice to the registrar of such provisions in such form and manner as may be prescribed. In the instant case, Evergreen Private Limited can follow the above procedure, that is, with the consent of all the members and notice to the registrar to include the entrenchment provision in its articles. Yes, the advice will differ if the company is a public company since it has to pass special resolution and also inform to the registrar.
Hmm. Okay.
That's it, sir.
That's all. I've already told you this, right? Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go
So
to the
next.
next one.
Okay. State with reasons whether the following companies can be treated as small companies with reference to the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, in which subquestion 1 is STS Private Limited having a turnover of rupees 10 crores and a paid up capital of 1 crore, 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 100 each. Out of these, 60,000 equity shares are held by UV Infratech Private Limited.
You did this yesterday only, no? The holding company cannot be a small company. We have to give the definition of a small company. But there are three exceptions, remember? One, a holding company cannot be a small company. Second, Section 8 company and a company formed under the Act of the government cannot be a small company. So here, although its turnover is less than 4 crore, 40 crores, and its paid up capital is less than 4 crores, but it is the holding company. 60% of the shares are held by some other company, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
It's not a small company, but it's not a small. We did something like this yesterday also, I think. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It was the last question in the.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Next is ZX Limited having a paid up capital of rupees 3 crores and turnover of 35 crores.
Can anybody tell me ZX Limited whether this is a small company or not? Doesn't it look like a small company?
No, sir.
Why no?
It is limited. That means public company.
Very good. If it was ZX Private Limited, it would have been a small company. But they mentioned ZX Limited, LTD. That means it's a public limited company. All small companies have to be private limited companies, or have to be private limited. Sir, how do you know it's public limited company? It's written ZX Limited. They have not written ZX PVT LTD. Correct or no? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So since
Yes,
it's a
sir.
public limited company, it is not a small company, or it's not a small.
Company.
Okay. Next.
Yes, sir. I'll go to the next question. Next, they have given a partnership question, so they'll move to the second question.
Yeah.
P sold a certain antiques item to Q for rupees 3 lakh on 13/12/2024. As per the terms of agreement, 75% of the amount was to be paid within a week, and the balance 25% was to be paid till 31/12/2024.
How much is the amount of the antique piece?
3 lakhs, sir.
Okay. Got it.
Next is Q appointed his agent R to take delivery of the goods after payment of first installment. Q transferred a sum of 2,80,000 in the account of P through NAFT on 18/12/2024, which was credited in P's account on the same date. R failed to take delivery of antique items due to medical emergency. By the meantime, Q failed to make payment of the second installment till 31st December 2024. On 10 January 2025, Q's agent came to take the delivery of the goods, but P refused to deliver the goods and exercised his right of lien over the goods. According to the provisions of Sale of Goods Act 1930, give your opinion whether P was justified in exercising right of lien, as only rupees 20,000 was left to be paid.
Now, first of all, you have to give the meaning of right of lien. The right of lien is the right to retain possession of the goods under the following circumstances. One, when these goods are sold on cash and the amount is not paid, or when the credit period has expired, or the buyer has become insolvent. Now, in this case, this fellow had to pay 3 lakhs, but he's paid only 2,80,000. He still has to pay 20,000. His agent didn't come and pick up the goods. Bad luck. So now when he's gone to pick up the goods, P is not. Now remember, I told you right of lien can be exercised whether even if 1,000 rupees was not payable, you can still exercise the right of lien. So right of lien can be exercised whether there is a partial non-payment or a complete non-payment. An unpaid seller is an unpaid seller irrespective of the amount. But if the amount due is not received, in this case, more than 91% of the amount is received, but even then it will be considered as a unpaid seller. So Mr. P has every right to exercise his right of lien. He need not release the goods till the remaining 20,000 rupees has been paid. Got it or no?
Yes, sir. Sir, answer. Do you want me to read it?
I think so. We'll move on. You understood this, no? It's an easy question, no? You'll like explain right of lien and all that. Do you all want me to
Yes.
explain it? Not, no? You all don't want to read it, right? Okay, read it off. If you feel like reading, read it off. Read it off.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Rights of lien, Section 47 of the Sale of Goods Act 1930. An unpaid seller has a right of lien on the goods for the price while he is in possession until the payment or tender of the price of such goods. It is the right to retain possession of the goods and refusal to deliver them to the buyer until the price due in respect of them is paid or tendered. Exercise of right of lien. The right can be exercised by him in the following cases only: where goods have been sold without any stipulation of credit, that is,
Okay,
on
leave
cash.
or leave it off. Go to the case part.
Yes, sir. In the instant case, P is still in possession of the goods and the full price was not paid by Q within the stipulated time, that is 31st December 2024. Therefore, P is an unpaid seller and can rightfully exercise lien
Okay, that's
until
what I told you.
6/7.
Okay, done. I explained to you, no? Leave it off. Go to the next question.
Yes, sir. Next
Oh,
question.
Your house, huh? They think.
Sir, outside my house, sir.
Oh my God. We are stray dogs or pet dogs?
Sir, stray dog, sir.
Ooh, so scary. Then how people get out in the night and all that?
Sir?
They won't. Okay, let's see. We'll go to the next question.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
An auction takes place in Delhi for antique items. It is notified to the bidders that the sale will be completed only when the hammer of the auctioneer hits the table and he announces you are the highest bidder. During the
Okay,
auction,
listen. Read this line properly. Okay, the auction will be completed only if
only when the hammer of the auctioneer hits the table and he
and
announces,
not or. No,
yes, sir,
and okay, that's what I was looking.
and he announces you are the highest bidder.
You are the highest bidder. Okay.
During the auction, L bids for an antique sculpture worth 8 lakh. The hammer falls, but announcement cannot be made as the auction suddenly stops before the auctioneer can utter any words. It is notified to everyone that there has been an unexpected rise in the marketplace for that particular sculpture and therefore it will not be sold on that particular day. L contends that the auctioneer is bound to sell the sculpture to him at the price he bid because once he bid at the highest price in the auction and the hammer fell, the auction sale was completed and therefore the auctioneer is under a contractual obligation to sell the sculpture. The sculpture. The auctioneer disagrees. Discuss the validity of L's claim in reference to provisions of Sale of Goods Act 1930.
When is the sale complete for an auction sale? When the condition is satisfied of the completion of the sale. Here they mentioned two conditions. One, the hammer hits the table and he announces. Suppose he would have said or, the sale would have been complete. But since they've said and, so he has to hit the hammer plus he has to say you are the highest bidder. He completes one part of the auction, but he doesn't complete the other part. So the auction is not complete. What the auction sale is not
Complete.
complete. So the auctioneer need not sell the goods to the highest bidder because the auction sale is complete only when the complete condition is satisfied. However, if it was or, remember that's why I made you read that and or, correct or not? It's very important. So here the auction sale is not. Just let's see the answer. And I'm also a little confused with this. Let me just read the answer.
Yes, sir. Legal rules for auction sale. Section 64 of the Sale of Goods Act 1930 provides following rules to regulate the sale by auction. Completion of the contract of sale. The sale is complete. Okay, the sale is complete when the auctioneer announces its completion by the fall of hammer or in any customary manner. Until such announcement is made, any bidder may retract his bid. In the instant case, the sale of the sculpture 12 is not yet complete as only hammer falls, but the auctioneer did not announce you are the highest bidder. Therefore, L's claim contending that the auctioneer is bound to sell the sculpture to him at the price he bid is not valid as the auction sale was not complete.
Good. Okay. We'll go to the next question.
Yes, sir. Explain the concept of separate legal entity in the company law. How does it differentiate the company from its members?
We
And
don't
next
have to
is
do that. A separate legal entity, I can give the case Solomon versus Solomon, correct? Or Mycora versus Northern Assurance, whichever it is. I think the Solomon versus Solomon is also there, right? Correct or no? Yes or
sir.
no? I had done 3 cases with you, Lee versus Lee Air Farming. So you mentioned separate legal entity. The company can own its own property, sue and be sued. The company's identity is distinct from that shareholders, and then whatever, and then give the case law and finish it. And I'm not doing this. You all can read that on your own. Next question.
The next question is about perpetual succession. What is meant by perpetual succession in relation to a company? How does this feature contribute to the continuity of a company despite the changes in its membership?
That you know. No, we just did today, no? The 5 people they died and all that. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the company. Members may come and members may go, but the company goes on forever. What the company goes on for ever. Understood, Anna?
Ever.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Object clause. Okay. The object clause of the Memorandum of Association of ABC Private Limited authorized the company to carry on the
Just give
business
me
of
1 minute.
trading.
Just give me 1 minute, Dhruti. Just give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can continue.
Yes, sir. Uh, the object clause of Memorandum of Association of ABC Private Limited authorized the company to carry on the business of trading in property in Gurgaon. Since the company was not doing well, the directors of the company in a recent board meeting planned to diversify the business and enter into construction business. For this purpose, they borrowed a sum of rupees 5 crores from Magnum Finance Limited, but the members of the company did not approve the decisions of the
What?
board. Hence,
Okay, okay. Mhm.
okay. Hence, company refused to repay the loan. According to the provisions of Companies Act 2013, what is the recourse available to Magnum Finance Limited for recovery of the loan?
What was that case which he did, that Ashbury Railway Carriage Company versus that Ritchie? There are two things over here. One is doctrine of ultra-virus and doctrine of constructive notice. Remember that Ashbury Railway Carriage? So the objective clause of the company says that the company can be a property trading, buy and sell property, but they have borrowed some money for construction. Remember, similar to that railway construction thing, it was there. No, we had done to make railway carriages, but they made railway lines.
Yes,
Remember
sir.
that case? Hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there, here it is doctrine of ultra-virus. No, now Magnum Finance says that they did not know that it was not there in the object clause. They should have known, because they have to go through the objective clause. So once the money is lent and the company is not authorized to construct, the company has acted beyond its capacity. So the contract is null and void. What the contract is null and void. Now, what will happen to Magnum Finance Limited? Magnum Finance Limited cannot recover the loan. However, I had done something with you earlier. I told you there is something called as the Special Relief Act of 1963. Under that, even if the contract is null and void, this Magnum Finance Limited can recover by putting an injunction if the amount is not spent. What if the amount is not spent? So suppose they've taken 5 crore, then not spent the amount, they can stop the company from spending that money and recover it back. Secondly, if they've spent the money, that means if they've given it to somebody, they can recover it back from the company, because they'll step as debtors, correct or no? They'll step in the shoe. That means suppose uh, let's say this construction company has given some workers 1 crore, or given the contractor 1 crore, correct, Anu? Now that contractor, now instead of the contractor being the debtor of the company, Magnum Finance Limited can step into the shoes of the debtor and they can recover the money, or they can recover the money. So basically, it's a doctrine of ultra wires. They cannot actually, they could not recover the money, but because of the Special Relief Act 1963, they can recover the money in two ways. If they have not spent the money, they can put injunction. If they spent the money, they can recover it from the debtors, or they can recover it from the persons from
Debtor.
whom they have given the money, or to whom they have given the
Money.
money. Understood or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so. We should read it, right? We've done this. I think so. There was one more case like this before also. I told you, Ashbury Railway Carriage. So you can say concept is doctrine of ultra vires constructive notice, similar to the case Ashbury Railway Carriage Company versus Ritchie, and then mention these provisions and then talk about the Special Relief Act and come to the point. Understand? No? Got it? Yeah. Let's go to
Yes, sir. Next question is, S&M Limited was registered in 2021 with a share capital of 50 lakh divided into 5 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013 for promotion of art in Jaipur. Company earned huge profits during the financial year ending 31st March 2025 due to the boom in the market. On 10th May 2025, 75% of the members of the company demanded to distribute 10% dividend to the equity shareholders. For this purpose, they passed special resolution in extraordinary general meeting. With reference to provisions of the Companies Act 2013, decide whether S&M Limited can declare dividend at 10% to equity shareholders for the year ending 31st March 2025.
now two things. One is SLM Limited is a Section 8 company. So give the definition of a Section 8 company. It's a company which is started for the promotion of trade, commerce, art, science, religion, and all that. Correct or no? Now there are certain special features of a Section 8 company, right? Among them, one of the special features of a Section 8 company is it cannot declare dividend. What it cannot declare? Dividend. So,
Different.
so even if the shareholders passed an extraordinary general body meeting, anything which is against the Companies Act, you cannot change the Companies Act. You can change the Articles of Association, Memorandum of Association of the company, but you cannot change the Companies Act 2013. So as per the Companies Act, you cannot declare dividend. So even if the shareholders pass a resolution to declare dividend, you cannot change the act itself. So any attempt to change the act is null and void. What it is null and
Void.
if they declare a dividend, then they will lose the status of Section 8 company, or they lose the status of Section 8 company. Then we've done what the government can withdraw the lesser registration certificate. It can bar them from, it can convert it into a private limited company, ask them to remove, put the words prior, whatever, limited behind its name. Anyway, this one is limited behind its name. We've done all that, right? Got it, Anu? So just read
Yes,
the
sir.
answer. We'll check it up. Just quickly read the answer. We are running out of time. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Formation of company with charitable objects, etc. A Section 8 company. Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013 deals with the formation of companies which are formed to promote the charitable objects of commerce, art, science, sports, education, research, social welfare, religion, charity, protection of environment, etc. Such company intends to apply its profits in promoting its objects and prohibiting the payment of any dividend.
Prohibiting the payment of dividend. Prohibiting means it cannot pay. Understand?
Yes, sir. Prohibiting the payment of any dividend to its members. In the instant case, S&M Limited cannot declare dividend at 10% to equity shareholders for the year ending 31st March 2025, as it is a Section 8 company which are specifically prohibited from paying dividend. The profits of a Section 8 company must be applied towards promoting its objects. Therefore, the special resolution passed in the AGM to declare a dividend is invalid.
That's all. Okay.
That's it, sir.
Okay. You
Next
can write
is,
on if they declare dividend, government can take necessary steps to revoke the status of the Section 8 company. Okay. Next
yes.
question. Quickly.
Next is, explain the various persons by whom a contract may be performed as per the Indian Contract Act 1872.
A little
Sir?
tricky question. I am a little confused over here. One is in that performance of a contract we had done, no? There's PALTJ, that person
Yes, sir.
himself, agent. But there's one more, no? Persons who can perform a contract. Cannot be a minor. He cannot be of unsound mind.
Sir, that
And he
is
should,
essentials of a contract, I guess. That is the essentials of a valid contract, that is.
but those are also
The
persons.
capacity to contract.
Capacity.
Capacity to contract.
Okay, okay. So this didn't mention capacity, but they mentioned the question is a little. Just read the question again.
Sir, even in the answer, they are given section 40, 41,
40,
and
40,
42.
42. Then those PALTJ. PAL is
Yes.
person, agent, legal representatives, third party, and joint promises.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I remember PLTJ, but just read the question. It sounds a little confusing. Just read it again. Read the question.
Explain the various persons by whom a contract may be performed as per the Indian Contract Act 1872.
Okay. Explain the various persons who can perform the contract.
Sir, I feel as this is a direct theory question, if they had asked for the capacity to contract or essentials, they would have asked as such.
Who are the
So,
capacity? Because persons who
yeah.
can perform a contract, that's why I got confused.
Yes,
Because
sir.
there are certain persons who cannot perform the contract, right? Minors cannot perform the contract. That's why I
Yes.
got confused. What you do is write these 5 points and write 2 lines under that also. So that in case if it is that fellow is a little mad who's correcting a paper, he shouldn't give you 0 and all. So you write, besides these, all these 5 people can perform the contract, and all these 5 people should have the capacity to perform the
Contract under
contract. Just
section
write
11.
2 lines you write off. That means he shouldn't be a minor, he should not be a person of unsound mind, and he should not be disqualified by law. There's no harm, right? Suppose that fellow understood or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go to the
Next
next
is
question.
fourth question. Explain the validity of the following agreements under the provision of Indian Contract Act 1872 and justify your answer. Mrs. Priya pays a sum of rupees 10,000 to a marriage bureau to provide information about prospective grooms for her daughter's marriage.
Remember, I told you there are agreements in what are that called? Agreements opposed to public policy. One was marriage brokerage contract, but I told you marriage brokerage contract is not the same as marriage arrangement contract. So this is a proper marriage arrangement contract where she's registered with a matrimonial site. So it is a valid contract. So you write there, a marriage arrangement contract should be distinguished from marriage brokerage contracts, which are agreements opposed to public policy. This is a marriage arrangement contract where she's paying money for subscription for the. Therefore, it is a valid contract. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Second one.
Bharat agrees with John to sell his white bull. Unknown to both the parties, the bull was dead at the time of agreement.
This is impossibility of performance. No, bilateral mistake. Supervening possibility and also bilateral mistake.
Yes, sir.
As both of them are in a mutual mistake that the subject matter of the contract of sale exists, but it doesn't exist. And it's supervening impossibility because the subject matter is not in. Correct. So in both cases, the contract is null and void. What it is null and
void.
Okay.
Rishabh sells his goodwill of his shop to Omkar for rupees 10 lakh and promises not to carry on such similar business within the local limits so long as Omkar carries on like business.
Okay. Now again, we did this again in agreements opposed to public policy. There was agreements in restraint of trade. All agreements in restraint of trade are null and void, but however, there are certain exceptions. One of the exception is sale of goodwill. So if the sale of goodwill is made with reasonable terms, not to practice the profession in a particular area, it is a valid contract. What it is a valid? This is exceptions to agreements in restraint of trade. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are done in restraint of trade. So this is also valid contract. Sale of goodwill is a valid contract. Partner and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
No need of reading all this. Yeah. Oh, fourth one is also there.
Yes, sir. Fourth one. A property worth rupees 2 lakh was agreed to be sold for just rupees 25,000 by a person of unsound mind.
This is also it's not a valid contract, right? I forgot the case again. Shit, how am I forgetting these cases? What was that case? Remember that fellow was an idiot and he agreed to sell his property at a lower price. So any person with an unsound mind, the contract is null and
void.
What was
Right.
that case? Yeah. Parmesh Dari Singh versus what was it? Oh God. Okay. I'll tell you that. Inder Singh versus Parmeshwar Dari Singh or something like that. Same case. Understood? Huh? That fellow, the
Yes.
congenital idiot. Correct? So the contract is null and void.
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 Next is MNO Limited, a supplier of electronic components, entered into a contract on August 1st, 2023 with the PQR Enterprises for the sale of 1,000 units of microchips. The contract specifically identified the microchips by serial numbers and confirmed that they were in a deliverable state stored in MNO Limited's warehouse. The contract stipulated that the goods would be delivered on September 1st, 2023. On August 10, 2023, a flood occurred, damaged the warehouse, and destroyed the entire stock of microchips, including the 1,000 units intended for PQR Enterprises. Examined with reference to the provisions of Sale of Goods Act 1930, who shall suffer the loss? What will be your answer if the microchips are not specifically identified and marked for PQR Enterprises at the time of the contract?
When you enter into a contract for unascertained goods, and if the goods are ascertained, here they are ascertained, you have put the serial number, set this aside, they have identified and kept it. As soon as the goods are identified and they are in a deliverable state, the property and the goods transfers from the seller to the buyer,
Right.
whether the delivery is made or not. Subsequent, any losses suffered will be borne by the buyer, not by the seller. So in the first case, because they have identified, serialized, the numbers are kept aside, they have kept the goods aside, the property and the goods the goods have become specific, ascertained, so the property and the goods is transferred from the seller to the buyer, loss will be borne by the buyer. The second part of the question they asked you, if it was not identified, it was not serialized, then it would have been unascertained goods. In unascertained goods, the property in the goods does not pass from the seller to the buyer until the goods are ascertained. So the risk will be still with the seller. So the seller will bear the loss. So the seller will bear the first case, PQR Limited is the buyer, they'll bear the loss. In the second case, MNO Limited, right?
Yes, sir.
Will
MNO
bear
Limited.
You all understood, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
have done. Yeah, we've done this earlier. Okay, go to the next question.
A purchase a purchases of A purchases a motorcycle from B and uses it for some time. It turns out that the motorcycle sold by B to A was stolen one and had to be returned to the rightful owner. A brings action against B for the return of the price. Will he succeed? Examine this with the reference of provisions of the Sale of Goods Act 1930.
Remember, you have to mention implied condition as to title of goods. This case is similar to Roland versus Deval, remember? Now I remember the case. Hey, thank God. Correct or no? Remember that he sold a car which was stolen. So here, if the car is stolen, the seller must have the right to sell the goods. There's an implied condition as to title. So he did not have a contract condition as to title. So the contract is null and void. The buyer can sue him for the recovery of the price. So it can sue him for the recovery of the.
Price.
Explain what is condition. Any stipulation which is essential to the main purpose of the contract, the non-fulfillment of which can lead to the breach of the contract, can lead to the repudiation of the contract condition. Then, right, there are implied condition as to title, case law, Roland versus Deval. This case is similar. Therefore, the person can recover the goods, but he can recover the money, but he can recover the. Some questions are easy, some questions are tough.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
With reference to the provisions of Indian Contract Act 1872, define the following terms. First one, quasi-contracts and its salient features.
Okay, quasi contract, no, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. We did yesterday also. But there's no definition of quasi contract in the Indian Contract Act. The definition you have to draw a contract which resembles the main contract, which is not entered into by both the parties but is forced on both of them by law. Then there are certain features. It should have money or money is worth. Correct or no? Remember,
Yes,
we
sir.
had done all those things. So you'll go through that. Then, second question.
Responsibility of finder of goods.
Okay, this responsibility of finder of goods is in that bailment, I think.
Yes, sir.
In that bailment, right? He should take care of the goods as if he's the owner of the goods. He should, whatever it is, no? He should not appropriate the goods for his own purpose. Correct or no? Remember, we
Yes,
had
sir.
done this. All the duties of a bailer are also the duties of the finder of lost goods. Right?
Yes, sir.
Please go through this. This comes under bailment. Okay.
Next is classify the following transactions according to the types of goods they are. First one, a wholesaler of cotton has 100 bales in his godown. He agrees to sell 50 bales and these bales were selected and set aside.
This is
Ascertained
basically existing ascertained goods. What existing ascertained
goods.
goods? Because they were settled, set aside. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
A agrees to sell to B 1 packet of sugar out of the lot of 100 packets lying in the shop.
Unascertained goods. Existing but unascertained goods. Correct or no? Because they're not identified and separated at the time of contract.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Sometime breach of condition will be treated as breach of warranty, as a result of which buyer loses his right to rescind. State the circumstances where a contract cannot be avoided even on account of breach of condition.
Yeah, the breach of condition is not treated as a breach of warranty. There are things when there's waiver, correct or no? We had done those points, right? Correct or no?
Yes,
This
sir.
is under conditions and warranties. What condition and
Warranty.
under sale of goods act. Please go through those points. There are 3 points, I think. No, how many are there?
There are yes, sir. 4
Three.
points, sir.
4 points. Oh, I forgot. I thought there were 3. Okay. You all will
Sir.
go through that, right? On your own?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we are done with this MTP, sir.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay. Anybody of y'all have any other doubts? Y'all can always. I'm winding up the class. Y'all a little early, but we finished the MTP1 and we finished the RTP. Any of y'all have your doubts? I've already given my email ID. Also, you can take my number from Nagashri if you want, or if you write to me an email, I'll give you my number and you can ask any doubts before the exam. So,
Excuse me, sir, I have a doubt.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the Sale of Goods Act, sir, the last chapter, unpaid seller.
Tell me.
Wait, I'm just finding for that.
I heard you're studying 16 hours a day and all. It's too much, yeah, Chachi.
Huh? So me?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. 14 hours, huh? 16 hours somebody told.
No, sir.
Then 14. It's okay. 14 is enough. Hmm. Don't give up your sleep, you know. Where is unpaid seller? What's the doubt? You tell me quickly.
Yes, sir, like regarding, yeah. The suit for interest, sir. I don't understand this part.
Suit for interest basically means this is as an unpaid seller, correct or no? You have to receive the money. Let's say you have to receive the money on 1st January 2025, but he doesn't give you the payment, correct or no?
Yes, sir.
If it is already mentioned in the contract of sale, and let's say he makes the payment on 1st February, he'll have to pay you interest on 1 lakh for 1 month, correct? At 12%, correct? Or no, whatever. Or if there is nothing mentioned in the contract of sale, you can send him a notice. See, if you don't make the payment today by 10th January, I will start charging interest at 12% per. Then let's say he pays on 1st February, he has to pay you interest for 20 days. Even if it's not mentioned in the contract of sale or you don't send him a notice and he still delays payment, the court can charge him interest at a reasonable rate. What the court can charge him? Interest at a reasonable. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Yes,
Understood?
I understood.
Anybody else has any other doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you all very much and all the best for the exam. Please contact me before the exam. We'll meet 1 day or 2 days before the exam. You'll have an R2R session and we'll meet at that particular point. Hmm? Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Sir.